Oh yeah, East Side. Hey. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm sure somebody's tuning in here. We're just talking about East Side. Anybody out there from Kailua, Kaneohe?
Anybody?
Yeah, we're talking about chihus. You know, is it supposed to be a white girl thing, or
is it supposed to?
That's
what I said. Somebody was like, "You can chihu better than that," and I was like, "I don't think you want the white girl chihuing more. I think like."
Jen, you're probably on there. Give us a chihu. How many E's you want to put on that? Chihu.
Yeah.
Okay, as we blow out the sound guys.
Sorry, guys.
Well, we're logging on, getting warmed up. If you're just kind of turning it on, we're about ready for the 10:30 service. This is your pre-celebration connection. We're gonna get warmed up. We're gonna run into each other in the lobby. Did you know that in your last MC you said welcome to the 8:30 service?
It's the 8 o'clock service.
It's the 8 o'clock service.
I did.
Although it was closer to 8:30 by the time you got on stage, but technically it's the 8 o'clock service.
I was wired, let me tell you. So I have.
She was on high today.
Story, I do. So I have a new puppy, right?
Yes.
And so she gets me up super early, and this morning I needed to get her up super early, so I got up super early so she would be all worn out and settled by the time I had to go.
Okay.
And so I thought I'd be so tired that I made way more coffee than I usually do.
Blame the puppy on the coffee.
It was the puppy, it was the coffee, and I was going, let me tell you.
I thought you were going to run out of air and
I know.
Take a breath, Jordan.
Jordan, breathe. Like I said, I'm like a runaway train on caffeine, but hopefully some of it's coming out of my system now because I really do want to be here with you guys this morning, chatting with you. That's the whole point. That's why we're here. That's why we put on these microphones.
That is kind of why they chose us for this anyway, though,
it's
right?
because we're full of hot air. You know? It was scary.
Caffeine, hot air.
Caffeine and hot air, yes.
Like to talk.
Absolutely. So.
And because we look good on camera, by meaning sometimes better than others.
Sometimes, yeah, the right side of you looks okay. It's the left
the money
side
maker,
we're
they're not
struggling
the
with
money
a little
maker.
bit. Yeah. Good morning, Deborah, and good morning, Amelia. Amelia's got a prayer request in there. Thank you for sharing with us. Deborah, she says, aloha from Northern Cali. Hey,
yes.
How's it? Thanks for jumping in with us today. This is our pre-celebration connection. It's kind of like our coffee talk lobby time where we just want to bump into you and say hi, see how things are going.
Yeah. Jen, if you're on, we're not seeing a public chat yet, so maybe throw something on that side just to make sure everything's working. We see you on the host side, but we don't see the public chat, so throw something in there, then Jason knows if he needs to work on something. There's always something for Jason to work on, but throw something on the public chat. If not, we're talking about the moneymaker and the not so moneymaker. Oh, you can kind of see it from far.
Your eyes kind of.
It's kind of droopy.
So Bruce has just turn one more. Bruce has a swollen eye.
Not so. Is it swollen?
Okay, you've got.
Gotta get in the light.
There we go. Bruce has a shiner. So Bruce got into a fight at high school.
No, we didn't. We're not talking about.
Oh, I think they zoomed it in for you. There we go.
Okay. Where are you? I gotta look in the light.
That's great. Oh, thank you, Jen, for your comment in the chat. Oh wow, here we go. So that's super glue on his face.
That's super glue. Okay,
not
just so you know.
Scab.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So we've seen Bruce, the close-up of Bruce's eye.
I didn't know we could do that. We can ask for close-ups now.
Now we can.
Or should we be afraid of close-ups now?
Should be afraid. I don't know.
Like, what did I have for breakfast?
Yep, that's true. What did you have for breakfast?
Don't be scared. Nothing with anything green in it, at least. Well, I had a banana, so that's clear.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, bananas come and go.
Just mush, straight mush.
Okay, so our question for you today.
I have no super glue on my face. Stop it.
Our question for today is, all right, Jen, you're on, so we know the chat's working. The question comments today is, how did this happen?
Yeah, what is your guess?
And we're gonna let you guys come up with the story.
Please.
And we'll see if anyone can kind of nail it. How did Bruce get a shiner on the left side of his face?
That's what I would love to know.
Yeah, and we're gonna give you guys some options or some background info so you can maybe come up with how this could have happened. Right?
Okay.
So we'll say, okay, I am married.
Yes.
So, there's a wife on.
Could have been some violence in the home.
Could. I do have 2 kids.
Could have been violence in the home.
Preteens. One of them is doing martial arts. I do have a job that's physical labor, not construction. I have a restaurant. A lot of you guys know that, but there's a lot of hands-on work going on in the restaurant. I do surf.
There we go. Yeah, that's what Tiff says. She says
pretty active.
Surfboard.
Pretty active, yeah. So those are some things that could involve your guesses. How did your co-host here get a shiner? So
How did Bruce get a shiner? All right. Okay, so Tiff, good morning. Tiff says surfboard. Deborah says surfing Waimea. There we go. Specific. I like that. Rapunzel Barbie.
that might be the story I might go with.
That's a way better.
I might pick that one.
Not to give it away, but that one's
We'll see.
way better.
We'll
That's
see.
awesome.
Okay.
Barbie says aloha from Payette, Idaho.
Oh, yes.
How's it going, Barbie? Thanks for jumping
Barbie,
in
how
with us.
did Bruce get this shiner?
Jen
That's
Jen
your
says
question of the
it's a
day.
spider bite. There we go.
Maybe it's radioactive,
maybe.
and I'm your next superhero.
Yeah, exactly. So before we sign off in a little bit, we'll tell you truly what happened to Bruce's eye. But right
Unless I want to go with a better. If you give me a better story,
we'll just go with that.
I might just swap over. Yeah.
Sometimes bruises have good stories. Sometimes they don't have. Good
Most times they
stories.
don't. Most
Sometimes
times.
like scars are your stories. It's like
Exactly.
sometimes they're lame stories. Like really
Yeah,
just
unfortunately.
really just negligent.
Yeah, like getting bruises by doing cannonballs.
Hey, I know. I don't know who would do with that. That'd be silly. You shouldn't do that. Rapunzel says your children hurt you. That's what I'm saying. I said Chloe kicked him in the face. I think she totally could. Yep. Tiff's with me there. Chloe practiced her martial art kit.
Yeah.
There we go. On your face.
Possibly.
Yes,
But you guys
sir.
got about 8 minutes to hold on to those theories. Pile them on. Pile them on.
But what I want to know
So what
right
we got?
now is what is the worst bruise? How did you get your worst bruise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you have a bruise with a good story? That's what I love to know. I thought you're
Yours
pointing.
isn't that
Mine
good.
aren't that
That's
good.
just not that good.
Mine are just my bruises are just large.
Oh, okay.
That's the only
You make up for
impressive part.
how you got it by how big it is.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So one time I was cannonballing into like the stream at the bottom of a hike, and
Yeah.
a bunch of other people had done it. The rock was maybe 5 or 6 feet up above
Yeah, it's
me.
not very big. I know what you're
not very-
talking about. You're only jumping about.
It's not. Yeah, but I jumped, and the way I cannonballed and landed, my whole thigh turned blue. Like I just did this giant like thigh smacker. It was
Uh-huh.
rough. So just black and blue for like.
So Jordan's wearing
months.
leggings for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
straight.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, I bruise like crazy. But has anybody have any good bruise stories? I would
Probably
love
got
to
some
hear one.
tailbone ones in there. I'm guessing.
maybe,
You
maybe.
know, like falling out, not falling, like missing your chair or bicycles.
Missing
Gosh.
your chair. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's bruises are hard. I mean, this is my second shiner. The other one was on this side though, so that was a different story. That story was alright. I was a wrestling coach, so
Oh,
things
okay.
happen. So it was kind of for a good reason, helping out one of the
happen.
kids, and gosh, bruises.
Deborah's other theory is one kill a centipede when tackle him.
Oh,
Like, I would just cry. My heart
Oh,
would just
gosh.
stop. I'd just be
we talked
dead.
about that the other week, right? Like
Yeah.
centipedes are probably the insect. At least in Hawaii, for sure, centipedes are the ones I hate the most.
They're pretty awful.
Oh yeah, they don't die for
Yes.
one, and you look at it, you're like, I don't want to be anything near that. Like even if I step on you, you're not gonna die anyway.
Yep.
I hate centipedes. Okay.
Pretty awful.
Yeah.
Hey Barbie, what's your best bruise story? I would love to know. Jen says, oh, here's another theory.
'Kay.
You were doing dizzy bat thing, the dizzy bat circle thing where you put it on your
Oh,
forehead, going
yeah.
in circles, and you went straight
Yeah.
into Jen's knees. There you go.
Oh.
That's legit.
That's almost like Twister gone wrong.
Let me tell you, this reminds me again of like field day. I want to have a church track
don't
and
have
field
those
day
anymore.
so bad.
Yeah. We have a supposed potato sack champion in the other room.
That's what I'm saying. Jason says.
Supposedly
Hey,
he's
wait, Jason, where are your
an
your
all-star
ribbons?
potato sacker.
He was claiming to be super athletic
Yeah, I
last
know.
week, and so he said he'd bring me photo evidence of all of his.
Remember, his story goes that he swapped out his gold ribbons because he liked the colors of the other ribbons.
Of the 5th place ribbons.
So he probably has all these purple ribbons lying around.
5th place ribbons.
That's the story. I'm gonna remember that one when I have all my 3rd place ribbons and I go, well, actually, I just didn't like the gold one, and I said,
Yeah, sure. Okay, but if we put together a church track and field day,
Yes.
what event would you enter in? You have to pick one. What would you pick?
Gosh.
Barbie, Tiff, Deborah, Jen. What would you
something
guys
like
choose?
classic old school games, like
Sure. You name your event.
running with a egg on your
On the spoon,
thing,
yeah.
and the spoon.
That is such a choking hazard now that I think
Oh,
about it. Like
yeah.
you trip and gag.
Oh, there's just no OSHA back then? you know?
No, nothing.
Oh gosh, that's a old school like outdoor farm games. I like that bat one. I remember that was getting dizzy
That
and
one
then trying
is
to. But sometimes it's cross a line
The
or like fill up a
funniest
bucket
one
or.
to watch.
Yeah.
To
Oh. Mm-hmm.
watch people try and run in a straight line. Like I have like cried laughing watching people.
And you
try
always think I
run.
could do it. You're like, no,
Like, I got this.
I could do this.
And you're like, ooh, like literally leaning while you're trying to run in
Yeah.
a straight line.
Mm.
That's great. Okay, Tiff says three-legged race. Yes, that's a good one. Another tripping hazard. It's a really great way to get bruises.
Let's tie people up and make them run.
My dad was really good at wheelbarrow. I have not
I
seen
used
somebody
to be.
wheelbarrow in a long
Yeah.
time. But he was walking in his hands and he got a big piece of glass in his hand and cut his hand. So he still has that scar.
Liabilities.
No wonder we don't have track.
Gee, I wonder why we don't have
I'm
these
realizing
anymore.
why we don't play these games anymore. Absolutely. But anybody else want to let me know?
I think the last time
Deborah
I did a
Rapunzel.
three-legged race was we did youth group camp for my old church.
Yeah.
And so, you do like 1 or 2 liters with the kids or whatever. We figured out a way to do this. We just lift the kid.
You got a small enough
and then
one.
the 2 adults just start running. So
There you go. There you
that's
go.
one way to do it.
Woo! Okay, Barbie says greased pig. LOL. Never done that one.
Hawaii, we don't do that too much.
I would try
Grease
that,
mongoose,
though.
maybe.
Aw.
No,
It's
no,
so
no.
bitey. No,
Okay.
that would not be good. Deborah says hot lao lao pass.
Ooh,
That's
that's a new way to do that one. Okay.
I didn't know that was the one.
You could
equivalent
do,
of hot potato.
we did in one of our youth group events is we did like the Fear Factor, eating foods. Hawaii, we have all this raw food out there. That
Okay,
could be,
that's what you would do, maybe.
well,
could put that in.
only because I won it last time, so maybe I would.
You're just.
I came close to not making it though. It was all that raw stuff was,
What
Pretty
kind of
rough.
raw stuff? But like actual food
yeah.
that we truly eat raw. It was just a lot of it.
Yeah. Like, the stuff that you would probably cook into another, I mean, you wouldn't give somebody raw chicken, but.
I know.
You
So
know,
I'm like, how far did we go here?
Yeah,
Was it
well, Hawaii, we
dangerous
eat a
or
lot of
just
raw food anyway,
challenge?
so you can find it. It's easy to find. Like, I think the one that almost got me was raw tripe. That almost got me. I mean, it might have been boiled or something, but it was, yeah, that one almost got me.
Straight
So,
tripe.
like, Fear Factor. That
Okay.
would be fun. Line
right.
up some funky stuff.
I'm about to put this together. I want to see this happen, and I want to see every single one of you in these events.
Yeah.
Auntie Bridge, good morning. Thanks for joining us. She says the wheelbarrow was
Yep.
fun. Yep.
Yep. I did good in wheelbarrow, I think, because I was smaller, so I was lighter. So
Yes.
it was easier for my partner to hold me.
Yes.
and we did really
yes,
good in
yes,
that.
Yes, so not too long. Yeah,
Exactly.
if you're too long.
You're just like falling all over the
Yeah,
ground.
you're like back sags. You gotta hold your core strong.
Yep.
No, my hips do not lend well to
To
being
a wheelbarrow?
weight. I can be the base of a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
I can get somebody
You can hold
else's.
'em?
Like my thighs can help on the anchoring side.
As long as they're not bruised.
I would, as long as they're not bruised.
Yeah. Mm.
And you wonder how I get these bruises. I would do tug of war. I feel like that'd be funny to watch.
It's fun, but I think if you're gonna do that now, you have to make some kind of rules or timers because everyone eventually just digs in.
Oh,
and then nobody
you get
moves.
Balanced.
Yeah, so you gotta have some way to kind of keep it moving along. Then it's really funny.
Yeah,
Or maybe like
maybe somebody tickles people while they're in line.
or maybe as the time goes along, you start pouring grease on the rope. Like the longer it takes. Okay, we're a minute and a half away, so we need to answer some questions on how this shiner happened. I do like the surfing one, and I've had not shiners but bruises from surfing, but this one was from work. We were trying to move one of our equipment, big ones, and so one was, okay, well, we need to lift it. So I got a crowbar under there on one side and lifting, and the crowbar slipped and pow! So crowbar slips out.
Did your like wrist hit your eye, or did the crowbar hit your
Unfortunately,
eye?
it was the crowbar. It was on a countertop. So one of our machines that are on the counter, and we haven't done it yet because this happened. But I was trying to elevate it to wedge it. So I was up on like this way. So I had the crowbar under me. So I was kind of lifting it like this, and then when it slipped out from
and
under,
it popped. Okay.
yeah. So just bang. But fortunately, as you saw the picture, it didn't get the eyeball. So
Thank
yeah.
goodness,
So I got the
right?
socket. Just glued it. Didn't have to stitch it, and depending
How
who I'm.
excited were you to glue your eye?
I mean, I do it all the time.
You do it all
well,
the
not
time.
my eye, but yeah.
Glue cuts all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I
So it
mean-
wasn't that exciting.
If like most guys that surf a lot, I have a surf bag, and one of
Yeah.
the pockets is first aid, and there's super glue in there, so you get reef cuts,
Just
dry it out, you glue it.
right up.
Yep.
All right, everybody.
Very good.
Thank you, Tiff, Deborah, Jen, Auntie Bridge, and Barbie. Thanks for jumping in with us this morning for the pre-celebration connection. You guys rock. Thank you for sharing our stories and
Hey,
for
wait,
guessing.
wait.
What?
Happy
Yes,
Mother-in-Law
that's right.
Day. Say hi to your mother-in-law.
I love you guys. Have a good week.